What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great weekend. We're here Saturday afternoon to talk a little birds, baby. So I've got the game status report for you, and of course, we're going to talk about these matchups here. So I've got the depth chart for you, the IR practice squad, all the stats and standings for both teams. So everything you need to know for this Week 11 Super Bowl rematch. Oh, my Lord, I cannot wait. Eagles, Chiefs, getting pumped up about it. So we're going to talk about all of it. Figured we'd do this one live. Usually don't do these ones live, but it's been a long time. Feels like 300 years since Eagles football. So thought I'd give you the opportunity to chime in with whatever's on your mind. We're going to try to run through this stuff here quickly and then get into the top matchup. So appreciate each and every one of you taking the time, hitting that like button, subscribing, all the stuff you're doing. But let's jump right into this bad boy with the game status report for both teams, baby. And look, we got some great news, and we knew this news was going to come because, well, I mean, he was practicing in full all week. If you had been tuning in, you saw that news. So Cam Jurgens has been activated off of IR. So great news there. We get our right guard back, and obviously, you know, Steen is the future there, but for now, we need Cam Jurgens in there. We need that continuity back at the line, and I think the run game, things are going to pick back up. So love to see that. So clearly he's been activated. He will play. Let's effing go. So he, Calcaterra, and Roby, all good to go. Now, Dallas Goedert, we knew he would be out, so he is out. But Justin Evans, he is also out, designated to return off of IR this week. So he's got the 21-day period, 14 days left now, but he is not coming off this week, so he will be out. Hopeful that we get him back next week as a depth piece there. And then for the Chiefs, only one person questionable, and that is Richie James, who is also designated to return off of their IR, but looks like he might not play. Andy Reid sounded like he wasn't going to be able to give it a go. So looks like he will be out for that game, but everyone else healthy, good to go. We're full participants in practice this week. That bye week did well for everyone. So there you see the game status report for both teams. So want to keep you up to date with that. You'll see the depth charts here in a second, how all of that stuff ties in, who their backups are, all that information you need to know. So going to show you now how both of these teams have been doing so far this season with the standings, division, and conference, and then, of course, the stats. So you'll get to see what both of these teams, what they're good at, what they're bad at, and take it all with a grain of salt. But let's go. Appreciate you tuning in, China. Hope you're having a great Saturday. It was nice seeing you during Fan Friday. Always enjoy doing those live videos with you guys. My man Wheels in here. Let's go. Dude, hope you're having a good one. Appreciate you taking the time, Patrick. Look, we're ready for our rematch here. So let's go, baby. And you know I'm with you. I still feel very confident in this dynasty season, and I love to have you guys riding with me here. So let's go get that first Super Bowl this year. And this is the game where it really is telling about yourself. You know, all of the mistakes you made in the first half of the season, you have the bye to figure it out. You get healthy. I think all of these things, oh boy, they've got us heading in the right direction. And I do feel this team is going to put the rest of the league on notice here. So let's effing go. Now let's take a gander. The number one team in the NFL, obviously sitting atop their division at 8-1. So you see the Cowboys, Commanders, and Giants all fighting for that bottom spot. We know the Eagles are the best. Now, also the best in the NFC and the NFL, but here are the NFC standings in case you are interested in checking out the battles throughout the league there. And give you a second to take a gander here. Maybe you want to pause it and then catch up. I don't know, but I want to show you this stuff quickly here so we can get in those top matchups. But here are the Chiefs, and not only atop their division as well, but they are atop the AFC, number 2 in the NFL, behind, of course, the Philadelphia Eagles. So you see them sitting there 7-2. You see the rest of the matchups. Look, it's going to be a tight race for both the AFC and NFC, but the Eagles and Chiefs looking like the top dogs. So let's take a gander at how they've been able to do that. First off with the Eagles, 3rd in points and total yardage, 5th in passing, 8th in rushing, giving up some sacks there and turning the ball over a little bit. Hopefully clean that stuff up. Very excited about this team, and I think that these are all things that you can work on. So excited there. And then on the defense, you know, Byard, Blankenship getting another week together to get on the same page. Roby back at nickel corner. I'm very excited about this. And look, Dean, it sucks he's out, but Morrow Cunningham, next man up. 18th in points, 14th in total yardage, 28th against the pass. But take that with a grain of salt because of the fact that teams cannot run on us, have to pass on us. And look, whether they're playing catch up or whether they're just having to throw the ball, teams are going to be able to do that against a bend don't break offense. What you want to be able to do is not let them score, though. So need to clean those things up. We need to get, that pressure we talk about. One of the best teams in doing that, tied for fourth. We talk about number one in fourth quarter sacks. So we're getting to them when it matters most, and we know we want to get to Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, we were one of the best in history last year in sacks, and somehow with that wet field, we couldn't get a sack. And well, it's going to be wet again on Monday, as we talked about the last couple of days, looking like rain on Monday. So, look, don't care. Get pressure on Mahomes. Get to him. And, look, haven't been getting many interceptions there, getting some fumble recoveries, but need to see those turnovers going up, and that would be great against a team like the Chiefs. Now, let's take a look at how the Chiefs have been able to do so far this year, and you can see on the offensive side of the ball, 13th in points, 8th in total yardage, kind of weird there, 7th in passing, 19th in rushing. Not your typical Chiefs here, but not giving up many sacks, although one of the worst in giving up pressure. So that just goes to show you how damn good Patrick Mahomes is at getting rid of the ball. So we're going to talk about that coming up here, but let's get some sacks here. Now, interceptions, they're obviously got Patrick Mahomes there, so doing well there and not turning the ball over. They're turning the ball over. They're tied for 30th at 1.9. So Patrick Mahomes, it's weird. When you take away some weapons, these star quarterbacks, you hear Jalen Hurts, you had to give them weapons. Yeah, believe it or not, players do better when they have better weapons. I know that's a crazy concept, but okay. But they're turning the ball over, man, and we need to be able to get that pressure, force them to be one-dimensional, and really get Mahomes rattled. You cannot let him dink and dunk, break away those runs, none of that crap. And look, their defense is playing great, so we want to be able to put up a lot of points, but look, they're tied for second, only giving up 15.9 per game. They're fourth in total yardage, fifth against the pass, 17th against the run. So I've been saying it all damn week. Well, last couple of weeks, run the damn ball, please, and thank you. Now, getting some sacks here at 3.4. We got to protect Hurts there. And you see middle of the pack getting turnovers there. So we got to hold on to the ball. No stupid mistakes, especially. You never want to see it. But in a game like this, oh, sweet baby Jesus, we need to go out here, play clean football, play our best football, and go out and get this W. So now that you've seen all that stuff you need to know, let's take a look at what both of these teams look like quickly here. And you'll know both the Eagles and the Chiefs, who is stepping on the field tomorrow. So you're prepared for everything here. And let's go, baby. Let's go, Birds. Said they were spraying water and blasting. Yeah, I was laughing my ass off. I saw the clip of Moorhead, the wide receivers coach. He was sitting out there while they're trying to return the ball, throwing this water bottle. Dude, it was maybe I should post it. It was pretty funny. I was kind of busy that day, but got a notification. I remember seeing it and being like, what the yeah, it was funny. But yeah, hey, look, whatever you got to do to get ready, I'm all about it. So who would have thought a quarterback? Yeah, pretty weird, huh? He still got Kelsey there, but hey, just saying, Tyreek Hill's pretty good. Hey, is what it is. But let's jump into this bad boy. Take a gander at the Eagles first. Let's get to know what they look like here. Here are the reserves. Cam Jurgens now taken off, but Bradley still on there. Dean on there. And look, Justin Evans is designated to return, so hopefully next week we'll get him off of there. Maybe we'll see Quez Watkins coming back eventually, but the other guy's done for the season, so you will not see any of these players coming up other than Evans with the asterisk there on this roster. And it's all color-coded still, so anyone in green new to the roster this season, anyone with the O and the red there is out for this game. So Dallas Goedert is out. And you see, look, Jack Stoll, Calcaterra, Alberto, next man up, dude. Step in and let's effing go. Jurgens back in at right guard. This offense ready to go against a very tough defense with the Chiefs, but I don't give a damn. I want to go out here and whoop that ass. And this offense has the capability of doing that to any defense. We have so many weapons. Don't give a damn if Goddard is out. We're going to talk about that coming up here, but that is what the offense will look like. Here is your defense. You can see at the bottom designated to return, but out. Justin Evans, but hopefully we get him back next week. Other than that, Roby back in at nickel, Blankenship Byard as the safety, Sidney Brown playing that third safety, not being forced to play nickel with Ricks. I think that's going to benefit us very much so, and I cannot wait to see all of these guys feast. And special teams unit, everybody good to go there. Boston Scott back in action, ready to rock. So let's go. Now, I will show you the practice squad. So maybe we want to elevate somebody here. We've talked about Togiai possibly. He's been a part of the system, so it's not like he has to learn too much here. But I don't know that you even need him. So we'll see if we even elevate anyone. Maybe a secondary piece with just being careful with Roby and everybody else. But I don't know that you really have to. So I'll keep you up. And Monday they will give us that news, so we'll know everything going on there. Now, let's jump into the Chiefs, and here are their reserves. And again, designated to return, but questionable here. Richie James, Bolton, Fortson, Johnson, and Tagovailoa there are their reserves. And I guess Richie James isn't coming off, so he'll be staying there, but he is designated to return. So you see him there on offense, but other than that, everybody else good to go. Anyone in yellow new to the roster this year? We talked about their new tackles. We'll get into that with the matchups here. But then on defense, everybody healthy. We know Nick Bolton on IR, very unfortunate for them, but the other linebackers have been stepping it up, doing well. We will talk about that here. And on the special teams, everybody good to go there. Not looking like James will be there, though, for them. Now, on the practice squad, they've got 18 of these guys. I know why. They have one extra because of Jason Godric there. He is part of the international player program, so he's exempt. But they added Coburn back, but didn't release anyone. So I have no idea. I did a little bit of digging, not too much. I was like, all right, dude, this is kind of ridiculous. So there it is, man. But if they want to elevate anyone for this game, you see that list on offense and defense for the Chiefs there. Now, let's get into the top 13 matchups for this game. And I always try to break down everything I can about this. Love to hear your thoughts, whatever you think is going to happen in these matchups, whatever your favorite is, whatever's on your mind here. It's nice to see a few of that injury list. Yeah, man. And look, each week it might look long, but you have to pay attention to what I say each video. Most of the time it's only one or two people that are actually hurt. So look, we're going to continue. Next man up, whoever's hurt, next person at that position, step it up. So let's get into this here. And at number 13, the return game. We never leave anybody out here, in special teams, obviously very important here. So looking at this here, man, Boston Scott, he's only had one return. So, 38-yard return it was. So that's a pretty damn good return. But, we haven't seen much. It's a very small sample size. Covey, on the other hand, he's fourth in the league with 224 return yards, and he's third in yards per return, and that is 14 yards per return. So doing well. Then you got Mecole Hardman. He's only got an 8.7-yard average. Thought maybe James would be there, but he will not. But they're still decent. They're playmakers. We know that they can make plays, so we got to watch out for there. We'll see if any special teams unit, and the last time we played them, they had someone in the special team stepping it up. So let's make sure it's us that is making the big play here. So Boston Scott, Britton Covey, whoever wants to be, let's effing go. But looking forward to seeing if either of those units can get things going there. Now, let's get into this, and let's start off with one of my favorites here, at number 12. And I think this needs to be a bloodbath here. Look at what we've got. Now, Donovan Smith, he's only given up 1 sack so far this year, but he's got 7 penalties. Now, Juwan Taylor's given up 2 sacks, but 11 penalties. That leads the league for tackles there. And Smith has got a 57.9 PFF grade, a 53.2 PFF grade for Taylor. Take all that stuff with a grain of salt, but not doing the greatest. And they replaced both of their tackles from the last time we saw them because they're so bad. Weird, we couldn't get any sacks. But you've got quite a rotation here. Derek Barnett, inactive last week. Hope to see that again this week. More reps for Nolan Smith. And look, he got a sack, 2 pressures, a tackle for a loss, and he's only played in 9.7% of the defensive snaps. So, look, we talked about being patient with him. He'll get his. We'll get things going here. But you got Hassan Reddick, 7.5 sacks on 20 pressures, 8 tackles for a loss, a pass deflected, and a forced fumble. Sweat, 6.5 sacks, 26 pressures, 6 tackles for a loss, a pass deflected, 2 forced fumbles. And even Brandon Graham has 2 sacks on 8 pressures, 2 tackles for a loss, a pass deflected. These guys are getting in there, making plays. We need to do that. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes will get that ball out quick. Even with them giving up the most pressure, they're one of the best not giving up sacks because of Patrick Mahomes. So get to him. And not only those guys, but we want to see our inside guys as well. And look, this is going to be a battle of the heavyweights here. And you've got Thuney, who's given up 2 sacks. He's had 2 penalties, 73 PFF grade, 72.2 grade for Creed Humphrey, but he's given up 3 sacks, only 1 penalty, 0 sacks for Trey Smith, 6 penalties, though, and a 69.5 PFF grade. But that's pretty damn good for their interior. But then you look at what the Eagles have. Oh, my. And Jalen Carter, dude, he's only played like 40-some% of the snaps. Same with Jordan Davis. Cox is the leader there, but these young guys, man. Carter's got 4 sacks on 14 pressures, 5 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles. Davis has got 2.5 sacks, 7 pressures, 2 tackles for a loss, and a forced fumble. Cox has got 1.5 sacks, 16 pressures, pass deflected, fumble recovered. And even Milton Williams, a 0.5 sack, 9 pressures, 1 tackle for a loss. Man, these guys, the best interior in the NFL. We want to see getting pressure on Mahomes, and not just getting the pressure, but actually making plays, some strip sacks, forcing him to throw some interceptions, getting your hands up, deflecting the ball there. Oh, we got to be able to get that pressure on him. And even if you do, you know he's going to be able to do things. So very important, but looking forward to those matchups. Quite so, ladies and gentlemen. Now, at number 10 here, look, do not sleep on Isaiah Pacheco or Jerick McKinnon. Now, Pacheco, he's at 124 carries, 525 yards. That's 4.2 yards per carry with 3 touchdowns. You've got 24 receptions, 160 yards, 6.7 yards per reception with a touchdown. McKinnon only has 12 rushes for 23 yards, 1.9 yards per rush. 0 touchdowns. The dude's not running the ball. What he's doing is 17 catches, 147 yards, 8.6 yards per catch, 3 touchdowns. So you got to watch out for that. If you're getting pressure, you know they're going to be able to dump the ball off. And Pacheco has become more of, a part of this passing game for them. So we got to watch out there. Now, Nicholas Morrow, he's going to be stepping it in for Nakobe Dean. He's got 31 tackles, 8 tackles for a loss, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 1 recovered there. In coverage, he's given up 12 receptions on 14 targets. That's 85.7%. And he's giving up a 101.2 passer rating. Now, Cunningham's only giving up a 94 passer rating, 29 receptions on 39 targets. That's 74.4%. Now, he's got 54 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 3 passes deflected, fumble recovery. Cunningham's been doing great for us. So we need these backers to step in, be able to handle not only the run game, but these guys in the passing game. Obviously, they're going to need to be helping with Travis Kelce. All kinds of things going on with this match zone defense. But for matchup purposes, we try to just pinpoint this stuff here. But look, going to be a great matchup, and I'm definitely looking forward to that one. Now, at number 9, their receiving game. Look, yeah, we know about their top guy, but their receivers, they've got so many of them, dude. Rashee Rice, Sky Moore, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Kadarius Toney, Justin Watson, McCole Hardman, Richie James. Oh, my God. So many weapons. And Rice is leading the way with 32 catches, 378 yards, 11.8 yards per catch, and 4 touchdowns. And the kid is a stud. We've been talking about him all week. Got to watch out for this kid. And he will line up all over. He will get you. More of a slot guy, but, dude, he is a stud. But we've got Bradley Roby back. So, Slay, Bradbury, show him what you got. Show him what you did in that Miami game. And I'm very excited about everybody getting on the same page. It's going to be our 9th different starting secondary in 10 games. Holy hell. So I'm all about it, though. Let's get things going. Shut these guys down. Slay, 8 passes deflected, 2 interceptions. That one was for a touchdown. He's given up 39 receptions on 58 targets. That's 67.2%. Given up 2 touchdowns and an 87.4 passer rating allowed. Bradbury has 6 passes deflected, a fumble recovery, but he's given up only 31 receptions on 54 targets. That's 57.4%. That's pretty good. But 117.6 passer rating allowed. I think he's given up like 6 or 7 touchdowns, dude. Like, that's unacceptable. So it's when he's giving up these receptions that really is hurting him and people losing their minds about it. Roby, he only played for a little, but he gave up 3 receptions on 8 targets. That's 37.5% and a 45.8 passer rating. So that's great, but a very small sample size. So we got to be able to shut those guys down. And obviously, they're hoping to have things opened up by that guy in the middle we're going to talk about. But look, man, you got to be able to shut down their receivers. Patrick Mahomes can make anybody a superstar, but obviously they're not Tyreek Hill, but still got to watch out for them. Now, running the damn ball is something I love to say. So, look, Swift's got 135 carries, 614 yards, 4.5 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns, 30 receptions for 166 yards. That's 5.5 yards per reception with a touchdown. Gainwell, 54 carries, 175 yards, 3.2 yards per carry with 2 touchdowns, 15 receptions on 74 yards, 4.9 yards per reception. So both of these guys going to get theirs. Obviously, Swift plays like 70% of the snaps, but Gainwell does get his. So both these guys need to do their thing. Obviously, we talked about Bolton being on IR, but Drew Tranquill leads the team in tackles. He's got 56, 3.5 sacks. He's got 3 tackles for a loss, 2 forced fumbles, a pass deflected. Willie Gay's got a sack, 2 tackles for a loss, 3 passes deflected, forced fumble, 3 sacks for Chenal, 6 tackles for a loss. So these guys are getting in there. They use their linebackers. They will blitz you, cover you. They've got a lot of talent there in the linebacker room. We got to run that damn ball. And if they're getting their pressure, got to be able to dump the ball off to these backs. So in the screen game, in anything, you could do with these backs. We've talked about it. I think, was it 17th or 18th against the run? Pound that rock right down their throats and allow them to, have to worry about all the weapons here. Yeah, Goddard's out, but lots of talent here, ladies and gentlemen. And I think we can exploit that one. So let's effing go. Now, at number 7, we've got our tackles. 2 of the best in the game. And yeah, Lane just gave up his first sack this season, but he's only got 1 penalty, a 79.7 PFF grade. Mailata's actually got an 83.1 PFF grade. He's given up 3 sacks, only has 3 penalties there, but you got to take that stuff with a grain of salt. I try to give you those for the linemen at least, but it is what it is. Now, going up against, one of the best teams, they're tied for second in sacks per game. So 6 sacks for Karlaftis, 4 tackles for loss, 3 passes deflected, and forced fumble for him. Then, you look at the other guys. Mike Dana, 5.5 sacks, 6 tackles for loss, 2 passes deflected. Omeni Hughes got 1.5 sacks, 1 tackle for loss, a pass deflected. And their young man, Nduke Uzomo there, he's got a half sack, but he hasn't played that much. Maybe after the bye, you see a little bit more of him. Sometimes these rookies, you want to have the training wheels on and then halfway through the season, let it loose. So we'll see here, but they've got a nice rotation. We have to be able to protect Jalen Hurts here, so that is going to be key. Cannot wait to see how the Eagles do there outside and then, of course, inside as well. And Kelsey, dude, they try to tell us that Humphrey was better, but Kelsey's only given up 1 sack, 1 penalty, has an 81.9. That's almost 10 points higher. PFF told us that Humphrey was better, but they've got Kelsey rated 10 points higher. That's pretty weird. Now, you've got Landon Dickerson. He's given up 2 sacks, 6 penalties, a 69.7 grade. And then Juergens has a 65.2 grade, 0 sacks, 0 penalties, but a limited amount there. But I think once this line has everybody back, like Juergens there at right guard, everybody on the same page, that continuity, this run game gets going, I think things look much different for this team. And we're all going to be very excited. But you've got Chris Jones here. He's got 5.5 sacks, 5 tackles for a loss, 3 passes deflected after getting paid. This man is a beast. Then you've got Derek Nottie, who not having the greatest of years, honestly. No sacks, no tackles for loss, anything. 1 pass deflected. Wharton doing all right. And he's got a sack, a tackle for a loss, fumble recovered. But our guys in the middle, I think we can work them. It's going to be fun to see how that one goes. But that is going to be an intriguing matchup, to say the least. Now, we're going to get into this top 5 here, but want to take a gander at these comments here, see if you are popping up. So let me look over here real quick. Barely took myself off the camera. Hey, I'm back. But let me take a gander over here real quick. And oh, yeah, I cannot wait. It's time to get some pressure here. Put Mahomes on his ass. It should have happened last year, and it's going to be wet again. But I don't give a damn, and I can't wait either. It's time to whoop that Chiefs ass. I've been waiting for a very long time for this one. So I'm looking forward to it, to say the least. But look, man, I'm trying to stay as patient as I possibly can, but these walls are not ready because this game, it's obviously the one we've been waiting for the most this season. But yeah, you guys know I talk about Sweat since the moment we got him. I love that dude. I never understood it, but they're all bearing witness now. But I think that happens with everything. They just kind of go by after it happens rather than learning these things beforehand. But if that's what they like, no doubt. And they really don't, man. And like I said earlier this week, everybody's going to get on board with the Eagles after this one, man. So, hey, I'm all about Jack Stoll. He needs to. Same with Calcaterra, Alberto. These guys got to step it up. So I'm all about it. But let's continue this bad boy with the top 5 here. And, I just clicked on 6, I think. Whoops. Yeah, I did. So number 5 here. Let's talk about those tight ends. So Obviously, Dallas Goedert is out. So you're going to need Calcaterra, Jack Stoll, as you see pictured there, and Albert O. You've got some badass safeties on the other side, some good linebackers that do well in coverage. So going to have to watch out here for these guys. But look, Cook, he's got an interception, 2 passes deflected, tackle for loss, 2 fumbles recovered. He's only given up 13 receptions on 21 targets, 61.9%. 3 touchdowns, though, 119.8 passer rating allowed. So you can throw it on them. Justin Reed, 6 passes deflected, interception, forced fumble, and a tackle for a loss, 20 receptions on 35 targets, 57.1%, 2 touchdowns allowed, but only a 78.7 passer rating allowed. So they've got some good safeties. And look, our tight ends, we're still going to have to use them, but I've talked about this throughout the week. It needs to be some other guys we're using. So as much as I think, Jack Stoll is the next man up, and then he's the guy that can block. He's the guy that can catch. He can do it all. He's not Goddard, but he can at least do all those things. Calcaterra, your receiving tight end, that F-type guy, and so is Albert O. So Stoll's going to have the biggest plate here. And look, Stoll's only had 2 catches for 10 yards this season. And he's only played 32% of the snaps. Calcaterra's only played in 8% of the snaps, and Albert O hasn't even played in 1% of the snaps. He's only played in 0.94% of our offensive snaps. So, hey, look, we're relying on some guys that haven't had much time. Goddard's that good, so it makes sense. But, hey, time to step it up. And I've talked about this. Maybe you just see less of the tight ends, not necessarily, like I've talked about. I think Stoll can get his, and we'll make a couple catches here. He's going to need to. We're going to use those tight ends. But I think you're going to see more of the wide receivers. And by the wide receivers, obviously, you're going to be using A.J. Brown, but more Devontae Smith, more Julio Jones, maybe a little more Olamide Zaccheaus in there. But we talk about using more of the trio sets, maybe a little bit of pony with the 2 running backs. Maybe you have 4 wide receivers out there. So more of that and less of, your 11, 12 personnel where you're using those multiple tight ends. So maybe you see less of that and more of these receivers here. And why wouldn't you? Obviously, we know about A.J. Brown, 67 catches, 1,005 yards. That's 15 yards per catch, 6 touchdowns. Devontae's got 42 catches, 533 yards, 12.7 yards per catch with 4 touchdowns. And look, Julio's only got 2 catches for 11 yards. He's got a touchdown. Olamide's got 6 catches for 87 yards. That's 14.5 yards per catch, and he's got a touchdown as well. But look, I think these other guys can get involved, and this is the time to do it, but they've got a talented secondary area. Their corners, look, McDuffie, 4 passes deflected, 4 forced fumbles. Holy, he's given up 33 receptions on 51 targets, 64.7%, 1 touchdown given up, 91.5 passer rating allowed. And all these stats come from Stats Head, just so you know. L'Jarius Sneed, he's got 1 interception, 6 passes deflected, giving up 28 receptions on 56 targets. That's 50%. 0 touchdowns at a 59.1 passer rating. So Sneed, McDuffie, they have been balling this year. Now, Jalen Watson, Josh Williams have both been used a little bit. Watson getting more of the reps, so as of late, he's got himself a sack, 2 passes deflected, tackle for loss, giving up 14 receptions on 24 targets, 58.3% with 4 touchdowns, 118.4 passer rating allowed. So maybe you see Devontae Smith smoking that ass, whether it's Watson or Williams on the outside. But look, you're going to see Julio, guys inside, dealing with McDuffie. And look, you're going to see A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith lining up in the slot. They're interchangeable receivers. So look, go attack them, but I cannot wait to see that matchup. Going to be fun to watch there. Now, let's get into the top 3. And of course, Travis Kelce, you've been waiting to talk about him. So, look, Travis, 57 receptions, 597 yards, 10.5 yards per catch, 4 touchdowns. He missed that first game of the season, but we all know how scary he is. So, all hands on deck. Blankenship, Byard, Sidney Brown. Now, Justin Evans will not be playing in this game, but I put this together before that news was out. So, look, all your safeties, you're going to have to use this. We talked about using that third safety, that big nickel. So, whether that was going to be Brown, Evans, things like that, and Byard's going to get some too. So, you're going to have to use your linebackers, your safeties, some corners at times, whether it be the nickel corner in there, Roby working Travis Kelce. You're going to have to do all you possibly can here. And Byard, since being here, only has 16 tackles, given up 8 receptions on 9 targets. That's 88.9%. 0 touchdowns, though, but 118.7 passer rating. He's got to get this system down. He'll be all right. I truly believe so. So, big game for him. working Travis Kelce. I think Byard's going to have a big day there, helping cover him, whatever's going on. I think the schemes are going to rely on that. But you've got Blankenship here, 55 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 10 passes deflected, 2 picks, 1 fumble recovered. This kid's been playing lights out. Missed a few games too. So a couple, but 27 receptions allowed, 46 targets, 58.7%, 3 touchdowns, and 81.6 passer rating allowed. Now, Brown, 8 for 10, 80%, 2 touchdowns, 147.1 passer rating allowed. Clearly, we talked about him needing to be patient, needs some work there, and unfortunately, because of injury, had to be thrown into the fire. But look, he's going to be just fine. His future is very bright, but now we've got guys in front of him, so he doesn't have to be thrown into the fire there. But oh boy, is that going to be fun to watch. But I think we could shut him down. I really think that, again, all hands on deck. It's not just one guy's responsibility. So the linebackers, the corners, the safeties, I think they're all going to have their hands in stopping Travis Kelce. And look, as we talked about last night, you're not necessarily going to stop him. You just hope that it's not so bad, right? You got to contain him a little bit and do what you can to not let him get in that end zone. And it's going to be a tough task. And obviously, he's got one of the best quarterbacks, in the game today and maybe ever, in Patrick Mahomes. And Mahomes having a good season, even with the mistakes he's made. And he's got 2,442 yards, a 68.6% completions there, which is actually a little bit lower than Jalen Hurts. Just wanted to let you know that. But 17 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, gotten sacked 12 times there. He has 42 rushes for 258 yards, 6.1 yards per rush, 0 rushing touchdowns, though. And the Eagles, look, they're giving up 257 passing yards per game. That's 28th in the league. But we are getting 3.3 sacks per game. So, again, get that pressure. He gets the ball out quick, though. So, watch out for the motion. Make sure you're making adjustments to what they're trying to do. And if it's working, adjust like the last guy did not do. Please, for the love of God. But we all know who Patrick Mahomes is, and this Eagles defense needs to step it up here. And I really think they can contain him a little. Look, he's probably going to have 300 yards. He's probably going to, do a lot of things that piss us off. But he's Patrick Mahomes, man. It's Andy Reid. They've got Travis Kelce, Rashee Rice, Pacheco. They've got weapons that we just talked about. So try not to get pissed. This defense, they're finally, got a lot of the help they need. Sure, we need Dean back and Evans and some other pieces, but this is the starters that you need. Get things going. I'm excited about it, and it's going to be a tough task at hand, ladies and gentlemen. But number 1 here, QB1, him, Jalen Hurts against this Chiefs defense. And we talked about it. This Chiefs defense playing lights out right now. They're doing well, and look, they're giving up 176 passing yards per game. That's 5th in the league. That's pretty damn good. And they're getting 3.4 sacks. It's tied for 2nd in the league. So we got to protect Jalen. But he has been balling. Got the knee brace off. But even with the damn brace and a hurt knee, 2,347 yards, a 68.9% completion percentage. Oh, hell yeah. 15 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He's been sacked 22 times. So let's protect him. But 88 rushes, 316 yards, 3.6 yards per carry. You got to realize a lot of those rushes are just 1 yard, so that's going to bring your average down. But he's got 7 rushing touchdowns there. So 22 total touchdowns for he, and only 17 for Mahomes, but they both have 8 interceptions there. So look, when I talk about Jalen Hurts being the MVP, talk about this team winning the Super Bowl, building a dynasty, it all comes to a head right here this Sunday. And we're going to find out when QB1 Jalen Hurts steps on the field and smokes their asses. So, yeah, it's a tough defense. They got a lot of talent, make a lot of plays, but I don't give a damn. We got a really good offense that makes a lot of plays, and I believe we're going to do that this Monday. So, very excited about it, ladies and gentlemen, but that's all I've got for you. That was the top 13 matchups and everything else you needed to know for this game, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I'm going to jump over to these comments before I get heading out, so anything you have on your mind, feel free to let me know before I head out here. But you got score predictions, MVPs, whatever is on your mind, you let me know, baby. But let's effing go, Birds. Excited about this O-line. Finally, the one they constantly, yeah, man. We talk about that. I'm very excited to get Juergens back, Linda. Hope you're having a great weekend. Appreciate you all tuning in here. And the matchup's going to be tough. Do not get me misconstrued here, because I think that this team obviously is the second best, and whatever you want to say, who's the first, second, these are the top 2 teams in the NFL. So this is going to be a battle to the death. And obviously we've got an extra little something to push us. And look, revenge is on the mind, but you got to take it week by week. Those are the players. That's what they got to do. We got revenge on our mind. So I am so pumped to have our offensive line ready, the secondary ready, everybody healthy there. So pumped up. And again, sure, some other pieces are out, but next man up. Let's effing go, Liz. Appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're having a good one. Hope you didn't get in trouble. I know you were a part of the show last night, but I think you were off. So hopefully you're not working now. But yeah, you guys, you're right. I mean, this offensive line, we've talked about it. When Jurgens comes back, this run game is going to get going. Things are going to be a lot better. And, you know, look, the media has to get people going. And that's what people love. They love clicking on that stuff. It's over. Season's over. We got to trade everyone. Cut everyone. They're in for a tough time because this team's going to whoop some ass and they're all going to have to, well, actually, I think they're Super Bowl contender. This is my favorite team in the NFL. I actually been saying I love it. Every year. It's so funny. It's like, okay, dude. But they'll see. I promise you, we're winning this game and they're all going to be on board with the Eagles. The Eagles are the real deal finally. Dog, we've been the real deal from day one. People have just been lost and misconstrued by people that just don't know what they're talking about. So, they're going to find out, baby. We got those pieces that we talked about back, and I'm all about it. Oh, we got China sneaking in here. I'll try not to be too loud for you, but look, I love it. Love that you guys are always taking the time. And, bro, whatever you got to do to get that Eagles fixed, that's my mindset, right? Wherever I'm at, whether, work, whether I'm in the middle of the highway, I'll pull over I'll do whatever it takes, dude. I am a true sicko, and I love all of you sickos, so let's effing go. But let's go Birds. I'm all about it. Got a 33-20. You going with the Chiefs getting 20 or 10. You keep going back and forth with me here, little G. But look, I'm hoping for a big win here. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to get some more stuff in this room done and maybe enjoy some other football here. But unless anything happens, I probably won't be back. But Monday, I will be here for the pregame show. I will break down everything I can for you, and we'll talk about who the practice squad elevations are. Those will come out around 3:34. So pregame show, probably around like 6 o'clock-ish, I want to say. But love it. Awesome. That's love when you guys don't have to try to sneak attack it. But Mini Dagman, the Eagles YouTube channel put together. They've been so good I've seen a couple I really hate. And I tell you guys this all the time. It's not by lack of not wanting to watch other people's podcasts or other shows or TV shows you guys recommend or movies. It's literally any free time that I have, I dedicate to making these graphics and making this show. So, yeah, I'd love to watch TV and play video games and do stuff. And every once in a while, only when I get to spend time with the family. And I'm grateful that my kid's getting a little bit older. So some of the movies, you have much more choice here. It's not like, oh, well, now I got to watch, Teeny Bopper, Ted and the gang. So look, it's literally not by lack of it. And I said something like that to Chelsea the other day. I was like, you know how crazy it is? Like, I don't even get to enjoy the Eagles as much as I used to. Like, I'm obsessed, obviously, but it's like I don't even get to the little things that I used to be able to do. And like I miss out on so much stuff because I'm so locked in with giving you guys this information. Like I'll miss out on press conferences or certain things where it's just like, it is what it is at this point, right? And look, I got the hope that I'm going to work for them one day. So I got to make sacrifices, right? But that Maddox Goddard one is one I want to, though, because they got a great friendship. And let me tell you something, China. I've heard some pretty effing hilarious stories. You guys know I have sources that are very, very close to the Philadelphia Eagles. And, well, those two specifically like to hang out with a certain select group of the Eagles. And well, let's just say they like to have a really good time. And I can only imagine that video of them is quite hilarious because they're quite a hoot. And I've heard some pretty hilarious stories about, I wish I could tell you, I really do. But there's a really good one about Goddard. Like they're awesome. They're awesome. They're awesome. If you're working come Mondays, oh, those son of a bitches. But look, I'm going to do what I can to give you the pregame, the postgame, and hopefully you get to sneak in as much views as you possibly can there. That pissed me off every time they've ever tried to do that. I told you I don't work Sundays, but those Monday, Thursday games, they always got me every once in a while. I'd always try to get someone to work for me or I would always try to avoid it. So, but hopefully you don't have to work too long and you get off at least in time to maybe see the game. And I appreciate you guys. That's why I do this stuff, man. It's for you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I truly do. Yo, my man, Wheels, let's go. Dude, I really appreciate that. And hey, look, this is because I love you guys. I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it myself, too. Yeah, it could be pretty nerve-wracking. And yeah, it sucks that I don't get to watch shows and play video games or do things, you know. And I always make time for my family. But the free time, it's just non-existent. My free time is Eagle time. That's what that is. So I love you guys, and I will not continue. This train will continue to roll. And let me tell you something. I forgot to tell you this. This is a funny story. You got all the information, so I can tell it now. But so for the first time in my life, 37 years old, I'm on the phone with Chelsea. Dom wakes up this morning, wants to go to the Y. I'm like, sure, buddy, of course. You want to go work out? Like, that's awesome, dude. I love that. He's got this drive all of a sudden that he wants to work out all the time and get pumped up, ready for sports. I'm all about it. So but what I forgot was last night, remember when I told you how I rushed home, almost fell, broke my neck on the stairs coming home for Fan Friday at 8:07? Yeah, you remember all that? Well, I didn't stop at the gas station. And I remember being like, damn, dude, you kept telling yourself yesterday to stop at the gas station and you didn't. And I didn't on the way home. I was like, dude, you got to stop on the way home. Like, first thing in the morning, you got to go get gas. That's the first thing. First thing in the morning, I have a cup of coffee. Dude, take him to the Y, stop, grab some dog food from the store, run, grab Chelsea some breakfast, coffee, not listening to the ding, the sound, like the light that's on. I mean, bro, completely just lost at sea, man. I'm literally about to be, a quarter mile away from the gas station, and all of a sudden, it just starts I'm like, you gotta be you gotta be kidding. I'm like, what do you even do here? Like, I've never had this. I'm like, is this really happening? I'm literally like creeping there. It's just coasting. It's coasting. And unfortunately, you got to go like down a dip and up to get in this gas station, dude. And the cars are coming, and thank God there was just happened to be a little bit of break as I'm pulling in, dude. I go down, and as soon as obviously it goes up, it just starts. I put it in park, and I'm like, what do I do? But I'm like, I'm right here. So, and there's like this old dude with an old lady in the car. And I'm like, I can't ask them to help me. I run over to the gas station attendant. I'm like, I asked this lady, I'm like, can you please come sit in my car? I'm going to put in neutral. Of course, I should have probably just put in neutral till we got close to the tank, not push the extra like 180, 200 pounds in the car. But of course, me in flip-flops, pair of shorts, it's nice this morning, what I felt to be nice. So I'm out there pushing my car, bro. And let me tell you something. I've been having some liver pains the last few days and some other issues that really just haven't felt great. So that was the icing on the cake. And all I'm thinking is like, gotta get back for the Eagles, dude. Like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, dude, is this real? Like, I got home. I told Chelsea, she's like, you're kidding me. She's like, I even told you. I'm like, I don't even remember you telling me, man. I was like, I literally just went about my way, did all my stuff. I still cannot believe it happened. But I was pissed, man. And I'm pretty sore. Not going to lie to you, but my dedication is unmatched. And you can't stop this, but it was nice. It was like, ooh, all right, Dad still got it. Let's go. But yeah, this disease definitely, took everything from me. Much skinnier. I've always been a skinny guy, but oh my God, I feel much weaker. So that was pretty cool. I was like, all right, still push my car. But really not that hard. But let's go, Birds. Brian, my man, appreciate you. Dragon, my dude, I appreciate you. Get off a 9. Okay, that's not that bad, right? You'll only miss like first quarter, maybe a little of the second. So let's go. You probably have a commute and all that crap. So maybe you won't miss too much. But you guys know my dedication, dude. But that was just my stupidity, right? So look, P.O. Box, something I want to send you something for the office of I have an address. You could reach out. I think you did on Facebook before, but hey, you guys are always welcome. Who the hell was that? I'm really sorry about this. I cannot remember her name for the life of me, but I haven't heard from her in a while. I hope everything's all right. She still likes my stuff every once in a blue moon. Don't see her on the shows anymore, but she sent me after the Super Bowl when she was there from the get, when I predicted the Super Bowl. She's like, you deserve all this. She sent me a magazine, a newspaper, like all this stuff. I was like, dude, that's the night. Like, you guys don't have to give me a damn thing. Like, but bro, I more than appreciate all that you guys do. I appreciate you just taking the time, hitting the like button, subscribing, commenting, all that like little stuff. But doing that means the world to me that you guys want to help out and be a part of it, because you are. And I hope you know that, man. But hey, Wheels, I guess the wheels fell off my brain this morning. But dude, yeah, I'm just trying to take her easy. Next, a little jack too. But that's been an issue for a while. I think I just kind of heightened it by pushing it. And then when it was going uphill, right? So, and like I get to this point where like the diesel truck go to like put, the diesel in. Yeah, and I like couldn't get over this hump, and I didn't know how to say it in a nice way. I was like, do you think you can get out for a second, help? She was like, yeah. And as soon as she stepped out, I was like, actually, I'll just push it. That's like, dude, that couple 100 pounds just helps me get over that little hump there. Oh my God, dude. And then some poor old man with a heart attack had pulled in, and he came over. He wanted, or who had a heart attack recently. He was like, oh, I'm like, dude. I'm like, no, like, you're not helping, bro. And oh my God. But the lady, she like had seen me before, and she's like, yeah, but don't you have a disease? I'm like, it's fine. I just need to get home. Like, I just had so much to do today and wanted to be ready for this show. I was like, I have to create a top 13. Like when the game status reports, I need to be ready. So it just, oh my God, my brain was fried this morning. I had so much going on, and I just want to get this office done. I just want to have to stop buying green lights so it's not dark back there. I want to be able to see my stuff I have hung up. But whatever, dude. We'll get there. Appreciate you bearing with me. But I'm going to be heading out here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I don't think I'll be here tomorrow unless anything crazy happens. But Monday, look for that pregame show around 6 o'clock, baby. Now, the inactives don't come out till around 7. But I think we'll have the practice squad elevations around 4. So maybe it'll be earlier. I don't know. Stay tuned to find out. But I'll post it on every social media platform just so you guys know what's going down, because I know YouTube never wants to tell you. I want you to. It was the most ridiculous thing. I'm like, you stupid son of a bitch. Like, you're 37, and this, like, the first time, like, and I remember even yesterday being like, dude, you gotta stop and get gas. Like, it was at like 40 miles left on the thing, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to stop and get gas. Like, oh, I can't believe I let it and then apparently just kept driving. And I told you guys in Fan Friday, it was crazy yesterday. I got home at 8:07. The show was 8:15. I was like, I almost slipped, broke my neck. It was pure insanity. But that's my dedication for all of you. I love you. I truly do. But I want you to laugh. I want you to have a good time at my behest, because look, that's just the way my life is. And if I don't tell you guys, you'll never believe me. Look, if you're not making your life into a story, you're going to be a part of someone else's story, right? So I've always loved that. I've always said, if I'm telling a story and people are like, yeah, right, that just goes to tell you how great these stories are. And I wish half the time my life weren't like this, but I guess they make for great tales, right? So it is what it is. But you're damn right. And I'm one of those people now. I've always been that way, but now I feel like that way. Like, oh, Peppy, coming here to help kids. Like, something happens, I'm like, oh, I'm Old Man River here. That's the way they like it. Thank you, sir. And I'm like, oh, I'm old. Oh, shit, I'm old, right? But yeah, Old Man River, he was awesome as shit. So big shout out to him. And Lighty, I want to say her name was, the gas station attendant. Great woman. I say hi to her all the time, and she's heard my story. But she was there the morning I went to that Eagles closed practice. I told her the story. I was so excited that morning. It was like so early. That's just why I remember. But yeah, right. Oh my God, we just gave each other what we had to do, man. With our powers combined, we are Captain Old Ass. Yeah, exactly. And I'm there. That's literally me doing shit, pushing my car. Like, what do you do? Like, I should have waited for a young man to pull in somebody and be like, hey, man, I'm really sorry. Like, I've got this disease. I'm not supposed to lift like over 50 pounds, but I'm about to push this effing car that weighs a ton. Like, yeah, it's fine, bro. And obviously it doesn't weigh that much, when you're in neutral, you get a little bit of force going, but yeah, it's still, I'm not supposed to be lifting heavy shit. I do it all the time, obviously, but if we all remember the hernia story, I'm not trying to get another cantaloupe here, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't doing it. So let's all just say a little prayer for me now. But dude, hey, look, we're young and old, and that's what matters, right? And look, I'll never get old. That's my mindset, baby. And I just gotta remember that the body is, right? But the soul, the mind, right here. But I do have to tell myself that when I'm pushing cars and doing things like that. So man, and you guys, you all have the young spirit. I honestly, And sure, a lot of the drinking, I just didn't grow up. So in these past like 6, 7 years, I've really had to try to grow up. But it's like, I'm never getting old, man. I love the fact that me and my kid, we can relate on so many things. And I love like, hey, man, I'll watch whatever, this. Now he's getting into like the sports and stuff. That's what I love. But I don't ever want to push anything. You know what I mean? It's like, be yourself. I'm going to try to guide you. And dude, that's what this is all about, man. And you guys are family here. So we're going to get young together, right? We're not getting older. We're just going to stay young. And the Eagles, yeah, they might hurt us here in the process. My heart obviously is just going to fail one day. But look, young at heart is how I'm going to keep telling myself. And that's how I'm going to keep trucking through this. But I love all of you. Hope you have a great weekend. But I really do got to get rolling. I hear doors slamming. So people are home. I love you all. Have yourselves a great weekend. We get our rematch. Monday is so effing close, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, so close. So we're going to whoop that Chief ass. I promise you. But I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Maybe you're watching this later. You're thinking about this later. You want to talk about it. Let me hear it down below. But until next time, I'm Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. I hope you all have yourselves a great rest of your night. Stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now. Go Birds!